All right. So it's, I don't know, a little before 1, I think. And Nosy Parker has had one gigantic baby. It's a ram lamb. Yeah, they look great. I just checked her for a twin. There was no twin. And then I dipped his navel. And I'm gonna let them be. There's feed and water already for her. It's a super warm night, plus she's doing a good job. I checked her for milk. Milk's good. I think everybody's okay. So I'll leave them be, and then Chris can check them in just a couple hours. Okay. Good morning. It's 8 o'clock on Friday morning. We have officially entered Lamb Storm 2024. So I was in the barn until 1 o'clock last night. And then Chris came out for the 4 o'clock check, and he called me on the phone and was like, you need to get out here. So yeah, so I've been out here since about 4:30. The vet has come and gone. Thank God for them. This problem I probably should have been able to figure out on my own, but it was Freckles. Okay, I'm going to turn you around and give you an update. Okay, I'm going to try to do these in the order that they happened. Okay, so number 1, the vet said it was okay to let Charlotte back out with 3 days of antibiotics. So she is back out, which is good because we needed the room. So Charlotte's out. Yesterday, when these twins here were born, you may recall that this Nosy Parker, was a wicked stealer. And this one, June, was as well. So so last night when I came out to do the check at 10, Nosy looked like she was getting ready to go, and sure enough she was. She had this enormous ram lamb, and he is a super cutie. Look at what a perfect baby he is. He's so beautiful. He's such a beauty. Your baby's such a beauty, even if you're kind of a jerk. So yeah, so that was good. She birthed him on her own. This is June. She heard her name. Did you see her ears move? She's just having a siesta. So we brought her in this morning because she looked like she was getting ready to go. She's kind of a wild ewe, so we're keeping her inside this pen, just so that when she's ready to go, which will hopefully be later today, she'll be there. There's our little gray baby. They got tagged and went out this morning. I don't know where the twin is. Oh, right there. Sidling up to this other ewe. In my defense about painting these numbers, I do want to say that I think that this brand of spray paint paints a fatter line and is more difficult to paint the numbers. But I've kind of committed to this paint color now, so I don't know. So anyway, so they're tagged and out. This is the ewe who lambed yesterday afternoon. So they're still in until later today at least. One thing about out here in the maternity ward is we've got a lot of lambs that are almost 2 weeks old, and they're kind of wild jerks. I mean, right now, look at their sweet little sleepy faces. It's like magic. But when they get going, it's not good. I have a situation right here where she is hungry and she's ready to go. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back to the house and get her some milk because it is time for her to have her breakfast. Then this morning, Chris calls because he thinks Freckles is in labor. So I come over. Obviously, I've talked about how nervous I am about Freckles lambing because she's just my favorite. She's the sweetest sheep. She's beautiful. beautiful. I love having her around. And it's hard enough to lose, you know, sheep that I don't know so well, which we have already done this season. I didn't want to lose her. Also, you know, she's 7 years old. This is her last breeding. It was probably a risk breeding her. So anyway, I was nervous. We brought her in. She got going right away. As she's going, this year right here, she casts out on the patio. A cast sheep is when they tip over on their backs and can't right themselves. It can happen when they lay down on a hillside, or it can happen when they are laying down to push a baby out. And they just push so hard they tip themselves on their backs and then they can't right themselves. So she was cast. He brought her in. She wasn't that way when I come out to the barn, but you know, anyway. So she hadn't been there long. It wasn't a big deal. Sheep can die in the cast position, but in this instance, it was, we caught her right away. So she's pushing like crazy, and I'm trying to pull Freckles' baby. It felt to me like it was presented with one leg back. It was. And so I was like, I am going to like close my eyes and find my center and like reposition this baby and pull it out because I'm a grown ass woman. And so I did that, and it can be hard to push a baby back in because the ewe is actively trying to push it back out at you. I did it. I traced down from the head to find the other leg. I pulled the leg forward. I pulled and pulled and pulled. Nothing is happening. And in my gut, I was like, there's something wrong here. I'm pretty sure that I have the body parts all of the same lamb, but it's not coming, and I need a second opinion. So, and because it was Freckles, I didn't want to try for too long. So we called the vet. Vet comes. She pulls the lamb out. And then she looks and there's still a foot sticking out. So she was like, oh, that other foot was a different lamb. So yeah, so my gut was right. I just think like I could have worked longer on it. You know, I could have pushed everything back in and felt around some more. Anyway, okay, so since the vet was coming, well, I had done an internal on this ewe. So after we called the vet for Freckles, I did an internal on this ewe, and she was still very tight. We hadn't really seen much in the way of water bag or whatever, but she was pushing like crazy. So anyway, I was like, wow, the vet is coming, so we're going to sort you out. Okay, so this lamb, I can't get my finger in. This lamb right here, the bigger one, that is her own ewe lamb. And then this little guy is Freckles' ram lamb that I am attempting to graft onto her. So this is a wet adoption where I took him and I took paper towels and wiped as much of Freckles' birthing fluids off of him as I could. And then I rubbed him in his new mama's birthing fluids. So far it seems good. She's licked him dry. Both of these ewes have plenty of milk. So, this brown stuff on this little ewe lamb is iodine that I spilled when I was dipping their navels. So that'll come off. She is a really pretty little ewe. So yeah, so it seems good. She's mothering up this baby and hopefully it stays that way. Sometimes when the lambing hormones recede, they're like, who the hell are you? And stop feeding the baby. So, so he may end up being a bottle baby. But we already have one, so we're already making bottles and feeding it all over. Yeah. I'm kind of torn between like leaving the triplets on with their mother and then me just coming out to supplement them versus trying to adopt them on and taking the risk that I have to feed them 100%, like the situation with this bummer lamb. So anyway, that is the update. I am tired. I'm gonna go back to the house. I'm gonna warm up some colostrum. I'm gonna warm up the Bummer Lambs milk replacer, and I'm gonna come back out and feed everybody, and then hopefully I'll be able to get some sleep. Oh, Freckles is gonna need more water. Yeah, then hopefully I'll be able to get some sleep. I should talk about that for a second. I've taken a lot of video this lambing season of me weeping and almost at the edge. And I just want to clarify that I really love lambing season. I don't know. This has been a bad one where I feel incompetent all the time, and I hate feeling that way. But we're doing better every day, every year. And we are. It's just, you know, we got to learn these lessons, unfortunately. Yeah, so let me think about this. So she was number, hang on, I gotta look at my spreadsheet. The 19th ewe has lambed now. This little one right here with the single was number 19. So we have 11 ewes to go. That feels pretty friggin' great. I mean, I'm gonna take this little guy's temperature. Okay, this little guy, he's only 32.9 degrees. It should be 39 degrees centigrade for him, so he's pretty cold. So I'm gonna put him in the warm box, and then I'll show you that. So the treatment differs for depending how cold the lamb is. Yeah, okay. So he is cold. Okay, so I have this protocol from the Alberta sheep producers. There's just a lot of great information in the UK and Canada, and obviously Australia and New Zealand for lamb rearing. They just do more of it than we do here in the United States, where we only grow beef. Okay, so this protocol says that if the temperature is below 37.5, check, and the lamb is under 5 hours old and able to swallow, then remove from ewe and towel dry, stomach tube with colostrum at 50 ml per kg. How many kilograms? He might weigh 2 kilograms, so we'll try 100 mils. Place in warming box, he's already there, and then return to ewe when rectal temperature is normal. Okay, I just did a long explanation of this warming box without pressing record first. So this is a Rubbermaid bin. There's a heating pad in the bottom of it. And a towel on top of the heating pad, and then he's swaddled up in this blanket or this towel, and there's another towel on top, and I'm going to cover the top of this part way with a towel to try and keep that warm air in. I'm going to go to the house and warm up some colostrum, and we're going to try and tube this guy. I forgot to say, the reason that I suspect he can swallow is because he has suckle reflex. So when I put my finger in his mouth is warm and he suckles. So I'm going to assume that he can swallow, and I'm going to try and tube him. Okay, I went in and I fixed colostrum and Bummer Lamb milk. And then I got, this is the barn laundry that was in there. We've got a jacket, some towels, and then this nice fleece blanket that we can use for this guy. But he is making little lamb sounds. You're still shivery. Okay, this is the tuber. You put this tube in, and it goes down the esophagus and then just past the airway. So not all the way to the stomach, but just past the airway. There's these hash marks on it. I've never used this before. I'm going through this for myself as much as anybody else. So you stick this down until these hash marks are no longer visible. And then you pour the colostrum in and raise the thingamabob, the cup above the height of the lamb. So I'm gonna try it. Now I'm a little bit, afraid. This lambing season has really pushed my limits of knowledge and experience. All right, baby, let's see what we can do for you. I'm gonna put the tube as instructed down the lamb. Swallow, buddy. I've seen lots of farmers do this lots of times. You're supposed to be able to feel it go down. Okay. I'm gonna see if he'll suck. He does seem very lively for such a low temperature, so hopefully this will. Okay, all right, let's try the tube. Oh, this is so scary. This is so frustrating. I am so frustrated right now. Like, I just spilled $10 worth of colostrum on the floor. Okay, Trisha failed at the trusty trooper. Failure. I did look at YouTube to see if there was a how-to video for this trusty trooper, but no dice. Anyway, I'm so frustrated right now. Oh my God. Oh, I'm just trying to tube feed a lamb and it's not going well. Can you come over and give me some nursing assistance? Okay, I have given up on this. I'm being a chicken shit. We all know that I'm a chicken shit, right? Like, we've seen this. There's like hours and hours of this footage of me like chickening out. Ugh. I can hear him breathing, and I'm worried that the amount of colostrum that I tried to get down and went into his lungs and I drowned him. These things, they can, if you do them badly, they can have bad consequences. And usually you do them when the lamb is going to die anyway. And so it's kind of like the risk versus reward situation. And that's the situation here. If this guy doesn't warm up, he's not going to make it. And so, but I don't know why I couldn't do it. I don't know what to do. So I re-bedded. I put that fleece blanket in the warm box. He's all warmed up in it. I took that wet towel out. Now that he himself is a little drier. His breathing is a little bit weird. This whole lambing season, part of the frustration, aside from just how awful it's been, is just that, like, I thought I was at a level of preparedness that I clearly was not, because, like, I should have just left this lamb with his mother. Oh, it is, you know, you can go from like having a good day to having a bad day in just a second. All right, I am going to feed the Burma lamb. I'm going to offer colostrum to the other lambs, and I'll come back in a little bit. Okay, so this is the getup that I needed just now to recheck this baby's temperature. As you know, I had a temper tantrum a few minutes ago about my inability to tube feed this baby. Hello? I did not. I'm a failure at everything, Jennifer. I'm not even worth being friends with. Okay. I did tube that baby. I do not have it on video. Okay, so I took a phone call from a friend, chatted to her for a minute, and then I checked the baby's temperature. He was up to 38.8 last time I checked. So I offered him a bottle. He still wasn't drinking, so then I tried to tube him again. And I was able to. I'm out of colostrum now, but that's because I spilled about 100 mils on the floor, which is awesome. Okay, so he's gotten more than 100 mils in now, so he should be good for a little bit. Anyway, I'm hoping we can turn this little guy around. I'm starved. What a long morning. I think I said like 2 hours ago into the camera that I was going to go inside and take a nap. Fat chance. Okay. It is mayhem here, full mayhem. This little guy right here, that's our little tube fed guy. And I wanted to keep him in the warming box so that I could tube him again in a couple hours, or just make sure that he had suckle. But I thought that I would pop him in here because she was really bellowing. So I thought maybe she was missing her adopted lamb. And so I popped him back in here. He couldn't walk when I put him in. And I just thought, well, I'll leave him here. He's holding his temp. Leave him here till it's time to tube him. And she mothered him up. And he's on his feet. And so that is fantastic news. hopefully she can start feeding him, but I will definitely still check in a couple hours. Okay, so the longest morning ever. Why do you look like that? Okay, it's now about noon. So I just came out. My thing is dead. My, camera and thing, dead. So, okay, so I just came out. I'd been in the house about 45 minutes, an hour, and I wanted to check on the baby that was in the warming box, and I checked on him, and he looked pretty lively, and I went to put him back in the warming box so that I could feed him again in a couple hours. And he acted kind of unhappy, and also simultaneously, his adoptive mother was out here losing her mind. She was also like mothering the shit out of the other lamb. Like, the lamb was trying to lay down and sleep, and she kept kicking it, digging at the ewe lamb to wake up. And she was even like trying to nibble off her little dew claws, like over mothering, overzealous moms. Oh my god, my arm is tired. Overzealous moms can even like chew off tails and ears and whatever. So she clearly, well, it seemed to me like she was missing her fake baby. So I went and got him, and I put him in here, and I do have some video of it. She mothered him right up. She went right to town, and he's looking great. Like, he's even like standing up and walking around. So I definitely still will. Oh my God, she's so thorough. I definitely still will feed him. We'll offer all of these lambs colostrum again. Again, my nap window is narrowing. So I'm in here. I'm watching this ewe with her adoptive lamb. I'm hoping for the best in this situation, and I look over, and I see that June here is laboring. So what I saw was that she had this baby with the black stripe on her face. She had that baby most of the way out in backward position. So the problem with backward lambs is that the umbilical cord breaks before their head is out, and they can suffocate. And the baby definitely was like, I'm a goner. But then I yelled repeatedly at the baby that she was alive. And she stuck with, but she did yell for a few minutes. I've never seen that before, but yeah, they all seem good. I think it's 2 ewe lambs here. This stronger one, I didn't get a great look at the stronger one. So I dipped them. I checked her for milk. I didn't get any milk out of her. It could just be that it's not down yet. It could be that I wasn't doing a good job and she just needs like a harder pull. Also, look at this girl over here watching the show. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the house and warm up some colostrum because I think everybody around here could use some. Maybe even me. Oh my God. By the time I'm done with morning chores, it's going to be time for afternoon chores, which is totally demoralizing. I mean, these are the days I was hoping for, days when we have a lot of ewes lambing. It keeps me nice and busy. We're going to rip through this lambing. I'm trying to think of what number June is. June here is the 20th ewe to lamb, so we're down to 10. Also, I put the lambing numbers in, and we are down to only 25% losses, which is still very high and unacceptable. But things were pretty rough there at the beginning, and so we're kind of turning around. Knock on wood. Hopefully, we continue this way. And okay, I'm gonna get some colostrum. This is Nosy and her enormous lamb. I can't wait to weigh him. He won't get weighed until tomorrow, though. because he's as big as some of these, like, that's the first lamb that was born, and here's Nosey's baby, very slightly smaller.